So SMS number one, or Dave, as if for people who know him, has finally pulled his finger out and has done some TFYTC homework, which excited me a little bit on this Sunday. The third video I've done this weekend. Bloody hell, you must be sick to death of my face by now. So yeah, this week's homework is all about hype. Hype's a funny thing, isn't it? As soon as I watched Dave's video issuing the homework, it made me think about all the kids' TV I've been watching with my son recently. He's obsessed with this program called Paw Patrol, and for those of you who don't know what Paw Patrol is, it's a guy, a little kid who's got lots of dogs that like to save people. I mean, I don't know what kind of message that's giving to people. I mean, for a start, he's a child looking after animals when he's not capable of looking after them, and these animals are in charge of heavy machinery. I mean, what the hell's that all about? But anyway, I've been watching a lot of these programs and that kind of stuff, and I've noticed the children's TV commercials going on in between, and they are designed to create hype, especially this time of year. I mean, oh God, the amount of things that they just push on these kids and the way they're marketed to. It's no wonder the kids are going, I want this, I want that, I want the other. And that's part of marketing, isn't it? It's creating the want and not the need. I mean, most of us don't need another Megatron. We've all dived into the third party, whether it be Despotron, or Mitron, or you've got the original the original Takara version of Megatron. I don't think there is a need for any of us to get this third party, this new Takara Megatron. But Hasbro Takara, sorry, have been great at their marketing ploy, because what they've done is they've created hype by leaving this gap in the market for so long. They've known that that people will start to talk about, and people did start to talk about for months, for probably years, about another version of this Megatron. They've created hype. They've created us to actually get the want, and even though we didn't see the product, and then when we see the product, it's like, oh my God, it's there, we can get another version of Megatron, which is great. And then they slap 230 quid on it, and oh God, so there's different ways of creating hype. I mean, the Bay movies, and SMS number one was talking about a clip or something. And to be honest with you, I've stopped looking at the information about the Bay movies. I mean, I'm going to go and watch it, and when I sit down and watch it, I will enjoy it because it's Transformers. When I rip it apart afterwards, when I watch it for the second or third time, I'll think, oh, why is Hot Rod black instead of having flames all over him? Why was there so much action? Why was the story so poor? And all that kind of stuff. But it creates hype, and Dave was right. The marketing is so good to tell people that trailer is going to be on the Rogue One. People will go and watch Rogue One just for the sake of watching that Transformers trailer, potentially. Some people will. I mean, I myself, going back to the hype of the first Transformers film, it was released in the US before the UK. I think it didn't come to the UK until the August time, but I know in the US it was released on Independence Day, and me and my other half at the time were planning to go to America. So we kind of decided to go around the 4th of July weekend, and I managed to watch it on the opening day in Universal Studios. Even though it wasn't the main factor, I switched a holiday because of the hype of that film, and I didn't regret watching it. I think the first Transformers film, for all its flaws, is a great film. But it's crazy how we do create hype for things. And lately, I've started to ignore hype, and I'll give you an example of this: the new Ghostbusters film. People were slating it. People were saying, oh, how can you have women as the Ghostbusters? How can you not have the original cast as the Ghostbusters? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it should have been a follow-up from the original. It should have been this. It should have been that. And I tried not to listen to any of it. I didn't even watch any of the trailers. And you know what? When I went to watch it, it was a bloody good film, and I really enjoyed it. So sometimes it's best to try and separate it from that. That's what I'm trying to do with The Last Night. I'm sure there'll be some scenes in it I absolutely love. I'm sure there'll be scenes that I can't stand, like Age of Extinction, Transformium. I mean, what the hell was all that about? Just call it something else. I mean, come on, Transformium, what the hell? But yeah, so I think hype is all part of marketing, isn't it? Hype is, yeah. I think to my friend Shabs, and he might be watching this video, but he's kind of succumbed to hype and then backed away from it. He's a Star Wars fan, and he collects a handful of the Star Wars figures, and he was tempted a few weeks ago to get some of the Rogue One figures, and he decided to step away from it because it was just the hype of the film that was pulling him into it, rather than collecting the thing that he likes. And so yeah, I think that's probably all I have to say on the matter of hype. I think it's good sometimes to be taken in by the things that we care about, that we're passionate about, the things that motivate us. I think, you know what, if you want to watch a trailer, if you want to be taken in by the hype, then that's fine. Do you know what I mean? We've all bought stuff that's a spur of the moment thing, that's just there, and we've seen an advert and we want it, and so we go out and buy it. And I mean, I did the same. I remember Wii U. I went and bought a Wii U. I was queued up at 2 o'clock in the morning because midnight. I got out at 2 o'clock in the morning just so I could have this controller that I could walk around and all that kind of stuff in, and then it wouldn't work more than 3 foot away from the thing. And I think that the message is sometimes the reality isn't as good as the hype. But if you don't get taken in by the hype, then the actual reality can be better than what you imagine, if that makes sense. There you are. Anyway, this has been Zort Rider, or Rich for the hours of that now, mate. Please like my video and subscribe if you haven't seen me before. I've got lots of other stuff, videos about other Transformer crap. And yeah, so I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot.